Hi everybody, I'm Bree the Plant Lady.
And I'm Aiden.
And today, in advance of our cottage garden class that we have on Saturday afternoon from 2 to 4, we are not canceling it. The weather is not going to be a problem on Saturday. We are trying to deer-proof this bed, which is probably stupid, but we're trying anyway. The main thing is I would like to plant the edge with white violas that I bought last week. And the only way we can grow violas now is to have them covered under chicken wire. So we've actually never done this before. So today is us trying to figure out the logistics of getting it to work. We've seen other landscape contractors do this, so we know in theory it does function. So, well, we'll put it on time lapse so that you can watch our process. I'll show you what we have assembled so far. All right, David.
Hey, everybody. So what we got, we have some chicken wire. We have a roll of that, some tin snips, and then we have a few pieces of rebar. And the idea is we're gonna roll out the chicken wire. We're gonna drive the rebar into the ground a little bit and kind of zip tie it together, and then just tent it over there along a section, and then everything that Bree plants underneath there that deer shouldn't be able to get to. But they're pretty tricky, so we'll see how it holds up.
We'll see. Every day I come out and they've ripped this newly planted abelia from Dr. Durr out of the ground. Now they're not eating it. Actually, that's not true. They are eating it a little, but they rip it out of the ground so the roots are exposed. So we're gonna make sure that that abelia gets included. So we might have to, I'll move it out a little bit. And like so far, the cattle fence panels have been protecting those hydrangeas. But I walked out the other day and there were 5. This was yesterday. I walked out, there were 5 deer eating the hydrangeas in the blue house backyard. And they're not afraid of people. And the news had a whole segment yesterday about the deer attacking people. Deer attacking people. Yeah, we are now living in that era where the deer are more aggressive than the humans.
That's crazy.
So we are going to try. We're gonna see how we can make this work. And well, you'll have to follow along to see what our success rate is. Well, I of course remembered that last week in preparation of Thanksgiving, I stashed a bunch of other stuff under the house. And I've got 50 daffodils, got 25 more tulips, and a bunch of garlic to plant. And I planned on putting them in this bed. So I'm gonna go ahead and do it now before we deer-proof it. I'm gonna put the tulips, which I have very low expectations for, also along the edge, sort of intermixed with the white violas. But I'm put the daffodils just mixed throughout. They don't need deer protection because they're poisonous. So that's why daffodils are way more, just more practical in general compared to hyacinths and tulips and things that need a colder climate and are like high on the menu for rabbits and deer. I'm gonna do the garlic as an edge, and this is garlic that I harvested in June. It's been under the house all summer, and some of it is dry rotted, so it's not the best for planting, but I'm gonna go ahead and get it in the ground because I have it. Okay, so back to time lapse, and then we'll get to the meat and bones of this video, which is trying to put in the cattle fed or the chicken wire, which is tricky, right?
It is.
Because it's like,
well, we're thinking about folding it over so it bends down.
right.
Instead of bending up.
Yes, I think that's smart.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we'll be back to the main event in a minute. then before we get the chicken wire down, I wanted to see how far one of my packs of Nigella goes. I just packaged this week. Actually haven't sown any Nigella in years because it self-sows so abundantly. So I'm just gonna scatter it kind of in between. I don't want it to compete with the violas. So I have a feeling this one pack is gonna more than do this entire edge. So I don't know the exact square footage, but it's a pretty big amount of space for one of these small packets to cover. Pretty pleased with that. Okay, now it's time for the main event. I'm gonna turn it over to David and Aiden. Well, I can say two things definitively. I hate deer, and I hate the texture of chicken wire. It's really kind of awful. And the reason I'm doing chicken wire and not that net is because in my career in horticulture, I've had to extract animals from that tight mesh, and it's extremely stressful, and I don't want to do that in my own yard. And that's often what landscapers use to protect pansies and stuff, like at neighborhood entryways. But snakes and birds and other animals get caught in it. And I don't want to create that issue in my garden, but I also am tired of having an open salad bar. And I know a giant fence would be the solution, but you guys, it's not the solution for these properties. I want the two properties to be able to have walking and driving accessibility. I can't fence these two places off. I can't do one giant fence because that also doesn't make infrastructure sense. So unfortunately, fencing isn't the solution for me. Having someone kill the deer would be the solution, but no one wants to come and do that. So I feel like we've kind of taken away the aesthetic from the bed that I was really excited about, but we'll see how it works. And if the deer rip it up, well, then we're just not destined to have any plants ever again. My gardening journey will end. All right, we've got both sides done. We still have to add soil over here. So actually, you can keep that out because I'm gonna go ahead and add another couple of loads just in case things are frozen on Saturday. And yeah, it doesn't look great, you guys, but I guess anything is worth a try. I don't really have a long-term plan for this. I know the minute that I uncover it, the deer will eat the violas, so maybe by the time the daffodils and stuff come up, I won't care about the violas anymore. I don't know. I guess just call this an experiment. It's an ugly experiment. There's no questioning that. I'm not sure that I'll be able to really stand having it look like this. Maybe I should cover it in Christmas lights, and at least for the next month I would be less irritated by it. Well, I can definitely tell you I don't like how this looks. So the likelihood of it staying up for the duration of the growing season is pretty slim. But I do hope that you will tune in for updates to see at least how things fare for the next month or so. I think I'm just gonna have to start investigating more plants that deer don't eat and stop being obsessed with growing the things that they love to consume, because
it doesn't break your heart.
Yeah, and because this just looks so bad. Like, it defeats the purpose of having the violas planted to have this chicken wire up over it. So, well, anyhow, I will be sharing updates, and I'm excited to do the seed class on Saturday despite the forecast. So if you're watching this and you've registered, we are still having the class, but I'm going to do a portion of it as a PowerPoint just to prevent you from getting too cold outside. But we will be doing the demonstrations in the garden, various areas, and it's not supposed to be precipitating. So that's what really matters. It might be cloudy and not super warm, but it won't be an actual wet day. So I am looking forward to having the last greenhouse class of the season. And as always, thanks for watching, everybody. Happy gardening, even if you're gardening with deer.